I think I'm still live. Okay, I see a couple people joining on. Welcome. Well, hi, Susan. Glad you're here. Welcome, everyone. Everybody's jumping in now. So good to see. Say hello if you're here when you join on. Hi, Grace. Hi, Stacy from South Florida. I was just there last week. That humidity is something there, Stacy. Hi, Wendy. Hey, Janelle. Across the street. Hey, Elizabeth. Hi, Andrea. Good to see you here too. Hey, Tanya. Hi, Connie. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. Hi, Lynette. Hey, Rhonda. Everybody's joining in. It's so nice to see. It's unbearable. It was, yeah. It was pretty bad humidity there. I got a new shirt when I was there. I love this sweatshirt, and it's so cold today in Utah. We're expecting to get a little bit chillier tomorrow. We've got a big rainstorm coming in, so let's see. I missed a couple. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Vicki. Hi, Connie. Let's see. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, Tanya. So excited to see what you make. Oh, I hope so. I hope you like it. It's a pretty card, which is really easy to do with this bundle and the stamp set. It's beautiful. So easy to make some beautiful things. And I really love the card that I did, and it kind of goes with my sneak peek. So that is one thing that I like to do, is when I'm creating for the sneak peek, I also kind of match my tutorial a little bit to go with it, especially like maybe the colors or the layout or something. And that's just something that makes it easier for me, considering this is our 4th year doing this, so it makes it a lot easier. The weather is wreaking havoc on my reception. Oh no, I know, I'm hoping we don't have any storms. They're not supposed to be coming in until midnight. So hopefully my connection is good for the rest of this tutorial. The kickoff was a mess, and my husband is taking a nap. So hopefully he won't be leaving and getting in my car. So let's see. The bundle is gorgeous. It is. It is a wonderful bundle. Hey, Bree. Hey, Monica. Good to see you all here. Thanks for joining me. I have a fun tutorial ahead. I actually did this a while ago, and I had to like go back and look at what I did and what I made and how I did it. And so I couldn't remember if I did some stamping off, and so bear with me tonight while I do that. I think I kind of remember everything, but there's a few things I might need to do some stamping off. I made notes when I did this, so I have to refresh my brain to them. They're right here in front of me. So, but welcome everybody. It's so nice to have you here. If you have any questions as I go along with the tutorial, please ask away. And I always love to hear comments or things that you like that you're seeing, or give me some hearts, some thumbs up, things like that. So as you're watching along, I hope if you're creating along. I did have one I had one thing that I missed, but I'll share with you guys. If you want to probably just cut an extra piece of white cardstock, so just grab a scrap if you're joining me as you're creating along, or if not, watch this and then do some creating later, and make sure you share your projects. It's always nice to see everybody joining the album. I've been checking out a few of them, seeing what everybody's been adding, and just amazed by all of your beautiful projects that you guys are sharing with us, and thank you so much. It's so wonderful. That's one of the things that's about Stampin' Up! That I really love, is that we share. It's a sharing community, and that's what we do here at the Crafty Carrot. So share and inspire others. Hi, Vicki. Glad you could join. All right, so let's go ahead. I've got about 30 people on. Let's go ahead and turn around and get creating, because we have quite a project to make tonight, this tutorial. I always say that when I say tonight. It's tonight to me, but it's not tonight and somewhere that you are watching. All right, and I see everybody else is good. If you continue to join in, say hello. All right, I'm gonna, oh, we got jumped up to 31. I've got quite a few online, so let's go ahead and get started. This is gonna be a little clunky, so hang on. Well, that wasn't too bad. A nice smooth transition. Hello. I see a few people just joined in. Make sure, can you guys see that pretty well? Everything is looking good. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. So we're working with the Hand-Penned Petals, and I have my dies as well. And I wanted to fill you guys in if you haven't gotten any of our new stamp sets. Our cases now have this really fun piece on the inside of the photopolymer, and I wanted to share with you guys how to do it. So it usually comes in with like a window sheet kind of film and then a plastic over it. And so what you do is that this is now printed. I don't know, now that it's on there you can't see, but anyways, it's printed on this side. And so now what you can do is you can take your photopolymer stamp sets off of this. You don't see any of the printed images anymore on that window sheet, and you can put it on your case and it'll stick there. And so I love this option. I still like to leave this over it just in case any of my stamps kind of, also you can count and make sure you've got them all, because photopolymer, give me a thumbs up if you've ever lost a photopolymer stamp set and then found it later or never found it, because that has happened to me. And so this is just a great way for you to be able to track them and keep track of them, and that they're all right here. I see a couple thumbs up, yes. You feel me, right? Definitely. So this is a nice way to make sure you know you have all of your stamps back in the case. You can even leave it open and just pull from there and put it back in there. So I really like this additional offering that Stampin' Up! Has provided with their printables, and so I think that's really nice. So I'm going to pull out what images I need. I grabbed all my stamp blocks. I have lots of stamp blocks. I don't know, like I don't just have the normal like one of each. I have multiples of each. So I always find that I need to have more than one of the same size. So yep, lost several, found one. Hey, Trishelle. Hey, Sharon. Lost important numbers and letters. Some of the stamp sets I've lost. Oh, yeah. That is the hardest thing. And then you'll find them like later on, like attached to underneath other stamp sets. So don't lose hope. You might find them. All right. So I'm going to use the large image. So this is going to be on the E block. It does not fit this. It kind of still goes over. So I'm having to use the E block. And place that on there. And then I'm going to grab the thanks, because I'm going to use that thanks. I love this font. So I'm going to place that on one of the C's. I'm going to leave all this to the side, give me some room. I'm going to grab, the next one is this, the largest of the two-step image. And then I'm going to do kind of like a size down. So I'm going to do this one, and then the two flowered one, I'm going to put a little bit on the larger, because even though photopolymer has a footing, I like to use sometimes a larger block so that I can see it better, and that's just my old age too. I can't see anything. And then here is the smaller blossom. I'm going to need both of the two-step of the leaves. So I have those, and I think that is all I need. I need 8 of them. And then I have this one. Okay, so there we go. There's the stamp sets, everything that we need from here. Let me pull out the dies. So you're going to need the long scallop piece, and then the detailed die that has that flowers in it. And that's it. That's all you're going to need from that. Okay, let's just leave all this to this side. And then ink colors you're going to need is Polished Pink, Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Pear Pizzazz, and Soft Succulent, and then Memento. you're gonna need the darker version of the Daffodil Delight. Not the light one, use the darker one. Wink of Stella. Love this ribbon. Oh, I love gingham. So I love the what is it called? Bumblebee. Bumblebee gingham ribbon is one of my favorite ribbons. I wish that we could have this in some other colors, but it's really pretty and I love it. And then the in color jewels, which are really pretty. And I also pulled my dies. These are this Stitch So Sweetly. And so I'm going to use this one. It's not the largest of the scalloped rectangles. It's the next size down. I'm gonna use that one. And that's it of this. And this is how I store all of my dies that I have that are like a round, circle, square, everything I have on these little binder clips here. So, and then I just hang them up. And then I have them within my visual, so I always, it's easier for me to remember them. Remember, I lost the birthday? It was there on the main stamp and it's set. Oh, yeah. And I don't think you ever found it either. Okay, and then you're gonna need a blender pen, a blender brush. So these should be coming back in stock. They're out of stock right now, but they should be coming back in stock soon. They have been a hot ticket. And they're fantastic. If you don't have them, get them. They're fantastic. And then I'm gonna need card base. So on this one, I'm gonna do an A4 size because I know that we have, this is a global community and some people that like to do A4 and they like to do A2. So we're gonna do A4 tonight. So I have a scrap piece that's a layer piece that's just about 1/8 of an inch around all the way on each side. I wanted a little bit of a white border. You're gonna need a scrap piece of white. You're gonna need a 1 inch, I think it was 1 inch, yeah, 1 inch by 6 inch piece of white, a scrap piece of vellum, oops, don't need that, a piece of the petal pink, which is gonna be 2 inches by 3 1/8. So a little tinier. And then a piece of Sahara sand that is 2.5 by 3/4. So I gave all the measurements in the event that I had. And so you'll get the measurements from there. Also, they'll be posted on the PDF later. All right, do you want to see my card? Do you want to see the card? Can you kind of see it? Oh, it's over here. Tell us what the A2 and A4 measurements are. I really don't know for sure. Oh, sure. Wendy said she just got her blender brushes in California yesterday. Yay! Lynn said catching you in South New Jersey. Hey, Lynn. All right, so an A2 measurement, let me just show you my card. An A2 measurement is your standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that is your standard A2. So if you had a full length, that's gonna be the 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. But an A4 is a little longer and just a hair narrower. So this is actually 4 1/8. So it's 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So it's just a little bit longer and a little narrower. So you can see the difference, how it's just a little bit longer, but it's also a little bit narrower. So those are the difference. So most of the European European and South Pacific will use a A4 size cardstock, card base. And most of your North America will use an A2 card base. So I like both and I send cards to both. I have friends all over the world and I love giving those cards in their card sizes that they really love. So, oh, thank you. I'm seeing lots of gorgeous cards. Thanks. So this is the card we're going to make tonight. I'm going to show you how you can create your own designer series paper pattern. You can use a designer series paper, but if you've got the stamp, why not? It was created to make this beautiful background. So I'm going to show you how I made this. All right. And also, if you remember my sneak peek, this was my sneak peek. So you can see how they kind of are a similar fashion, same colors. I love the scalloped edges, the scalloped edge here, the saffron or the Sahara sand. fonts on the front, a little bit of embellishment and some kind of a gold. This does actually have a little bit of Wink of Stella splattered over that, and that does too across here, as well as the ombre. This ombre that I showed you how to do, we're going to use that in this piece here, just so that it gets a little bit lighter with the vellum on top. So this is what, and also the two-step imaging. The stamp set speaks alone for itself with the 2 steps, so it's perfect. Let's see, I've got some, hey Christine. Actually, gorgeous card, love the colors, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. So this is also a piece of thick white. And I'm just going to leave this off to the side right here so you can kind of still see it. This is thick white, and this layer is just the regular basic white. So this is basic white and this is thick white. I like to have a little bit lighter weight when I'm stamping so I don't have a lot of ridges. If I was stamping on the card, that little piece might kind of go over it. And then I've tried it before and it just kind of, I didn't like the way that looked. So I wanted to cut it down, so I used it on the regular white to add onto the thick. Dog hair right there. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our memento and our large piece. So also this layout, it's one of my favorite layouts. And actually my challenge to you for this, we always give like a little bit of a challenge, is to give you guys kind of an inspiration point to jump off casing would be to use this kind of layout. So I really love that it has like this little box here that's kind of not centered, but a little off to the right. And then everything is layered on top. And so this is my challenge to you, is to create something, whether with this stamp set or with something else that you have, and use this layout to create something and share with our community here. So just a kind of a little forewarning. I'm going to use memento, not using StazOn, because I like to use, I did, if you guys look, I used StazOn on this before and it stained my stamp and I don't like that. So I'm using memento this time. So, and you can notice that I'm inking this up upside down because it's such a large stamp image. I like to just turn it upside down and stamp from this edge. I would do that also normally with other ones as well. It's just that it doesn't fit my ink pad and I don't like to get that around. So this is easier for me. Everybody has a different style of doing it, of stamping, I should say. So first I'm going to do is, because I know that this is going to be where I'm not really worried about covering, I want to kind of work around my edges and fill in. So I'm going to start here at the top and I'm going to stamp. And then I'm going to ink up again. And I want to show a lot of those bigger blossoms. So I'm going to turn it this way. And I know I want to stamp right here. And again. Now, another thing you could do, this would be kind of fun, to give an entire sheet and stamp over the whole entire thing and then cut it up and use it for this card base. You're basically creating your own 8.5 by 11 designer series paper. So you could do that too. My friend Christine told me the other day, she likes to do the one sheet wonder cards. And I thought this was kind of like that same idea. She gave me that, like, oh, maybe I could do that. I'm just gonna stamp this one here. Okay, and then, because I'm just gonna be doing parts of it where I want to fill in. And I'm just kind of turning my, I love that we can see the photopolymer, so I can kind of turn it and see where I actually want to put it. And I'm going to take this little corner. And then I've got to do this corner over here. I'm not really worried about this. I can fill it with some of the dots. So I just want to finish that top corner. If you did it in a larger version, you probably could get like a nice pattern and then just continue to stamp, stamp, stamp. I'm just going to place this one here on the corner. Oh, I love those. So pretty. Okay. Let me do some tidying up before I put away this. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my thanks on my Sahara with the memento. Then I don't have to get it back out again. Like so. I'll trim it down afterwards, but I wanted to get that out of the way. All right, now I'm done with my memento. Let me put that to the side and check comments real quickly and see if anybody's got anything. Hey, Janice, no problem. We're just getting started. Both cards are gorgeous. Okay, good. And I've got 41 people on there. Hi, everybody. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's start with some color. So on this one, you can see where I use Soft Succulent and Pear Pizzazz for the leaves. So let's go ahead and do that first. So I'm gonna do Soft Succulent, Pear Pizzazz. So if you noticed in this stamp set, the leaf is only like one, but yet you have two. And so it's very easy for you to take these, because they're photopolymer, to line them up one on one. So, and this is where I forgot. I'm gonna grab a scrap sheet of white. I don't think I stamped off. Yeah, I did stamp off. Guys, I did stamp off. So I'm gonna stamp off, and then I'm going to add my ink. So, and the reason why I love this set so much is it's not exactly perfect. It's kind of irregular, and it's a softer look. I love that style. So I'm stamping off. I'm gonna do all of the Pear Pizzazz first. And I probably could just stamp off here and set that scrap sheet. That's what we use the grid sheet for, right? And do I need anywhere else that I had? I think I'm gonna make this one down here in the green. Okay, and then let's grab the smaller leaf with the Soft Succulent. And again, I'm pretty sure, yep, stamped them all off. This is what happens when I do this way, I think probably like back over a month or so ago I did this. So a lot has happened since then. I'm just gonna continue to add this color in, and I love the like bluish green leaves on this. It's such a pretty color combination. Whoops, see how I messed that one just like a little bit off, but I'm cool with it. It's all right. This is where I can just start to color and just turn it at the same time. Oh, but I see there's one over here, and I really want to do a green one on this corner here. So I'm just gonna stamp off. Okay, all right, so all my green, my leaves are done. I'm gonna close these up. Move these all to the side. Can everybody see that? The art in the set is phenomenal. Everybody can feel like an artist. Very true, Pam. I know, that's what I love about our stamps, is that we can feel like that artist by just putting different colors together. Hey, Suzanne. Pam, love the color palette. Good. Okay, just checking, make sure everybody's saying something. All right, now let's go to the larger image. This is that larger two-step. I'm going to use the Petal Pink. Love this color. And I'm just going to, turn it the right way. And I love that it's not exact, but also it's photopolymer, so you can kind of see through it. And this was full on petal. I think that's what my note said. It said, I said stamp. It says stamp all but petal on front. It must be stamped off. That's what it means. Okay, so I've got my larger one up here. Whoops, wrong way. No, other way. Right? Okay, guys, hold on a second. Yes. Okay. And that's it. All right, so now that color's done. I'm going to move on to the second largest flower with the Calypso Coral. I will have to tell you my Calypso Coral is a little bit dry. I need to get some re-inker to re-ink it. So you can see it's just on a little bit of the lighter version. So I went on full strength. If yours is darker and heavier, stamp off and then stamp. So just so you know, this is a little bit lighter than your usual full-on ink. So I'm just stamping these. And our ink will tend to dry just a little bit lighter. And this one, I think, yep, stamp this one here. Actually, I'm gonna do a little stamp off, maybe. I feel like maybe that was nope, it was full on. Just to kind of give me some variation. You can see it's not gonna be perfect, but I think that square is going to be right there. It's going to block it off anyways. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. That is, whoops, I did that wrong. Yeah, no, I didn't. So we're going to use the, oh, shoot. I missed it. Polish pink. Grab your polish pink. Love this color in ink. I'm not really sure quite on the full cardstock. It's a little bold, but I do love it in the ink. It's so fun, and all of the embellishments with it as well. All right, with this, I'm going to stamp off for sure because that's really bold, and I'm going to do these smaller little blossoms in the lighter pink. Now, this is going to be fun because I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned to create a new ink color. You can see I missed that green one right there. Okay, and those are the two-step. And then on the two-step, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna stamp off and then do the two-step of the two flower image together. And this one. Yep, I did that one wrong. So I'm just gonna flop it on there differently. Okay, now I'm gonna do this one down here, this little corner. Okay, so now you've got the same color. I want you to go and wash it off with a chamois. That petal, that little polish pink, both off of them both. I can talk tonight. And grab your petal pink again. We're going to do two-step times two stamping. So what you're gonna do, because it's photopolymer, you can take this ink color, yeah, this one, and stamp right on top of where you stamped before. And it's gonna give you a new color, pink. It's gonna be like strawberry slush. It's gonna be a little bit of a lighter pink. And when it dries, it'll get a little bit pinker. And you can see kind of lining it up through. And it's going to give you that new color. It's really hard to do this and not have my head in the way. And I'll just do that one there. And this one down here. So you can see that's a little lighter. I missed this one, so I'm gonna, I think I did it with this one, so I'm gonna just kind of go back over it to make sure I have that real bright pink out of there. There. So now that really bright, bold pink is gone, and that nice, softer pink is there. So you can see it in this one, that this is kind of lighter. Okay, so that is the trick on that one. Now that I have that all done, all my stamping is finished. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, let's go and grab my vellum, which I'm gonna cut with the piece of Sweet Stitch So Sweetly. Thank you. Let me just check comments and make sure. So pretty. I can almost see your wheels turning. What? Oh my gosh. Oh, yay. Patty, I expect to see this in a share that you're going to be doing soon. The possibilities are endless. Yes, you could really like stamp. It's like double stamping, basically. It's two-step stamping times 2. I don't know. So then I'm going to use my technique that I shared with you on the sneak peek. We're going to do a little bit of blending on this piece here. So I'm going to get out our polished pink and our blending brush. But this time I'm just using it on a smaller piece. And so I'm going to get it to hold. I'm going to add just a little bit of tape adhesive on this edge. And then I'll make sure that you can see this really good. I'm going to just go back over this little blending. Susan's here. Hey, Susan. I'm going to use the little blending technique and share with you how you do that. So again, I'm working really lightly. Layers, it's all about layers. You got to make sure that you're working in light layers. So I'm going to run this over my ink pad in a circle to gather up some of the ink, and so that it's evenly distributed. I'm going to tap just off the top. And when I do, what I do is I want to just come down halfway and have a nice little ombre. And so I'm going to come over and I'm going to lightly, actually I'm going to hold this still. And then I'm going to come down. It also kind of give me a little bit of a guide so I don't go too far. And I'm just working from right to left, left to right, back and forth, coming down lightly. If you want a little bit more color, you're going to press a little bit harder. Working in circles. And then I'm going to re-ink. Tap off that little excess that gets on there. And I'm going to come from the left, circle down, and come across. And then go back to the left. And I want to kind of get it a little bit more intense because it's going to be behind vellum. Oh, my fingers are getting pink. It's behind vellum, so I want to get a little bit darker. So I'm going to push a little harder just to get some of that ink off the brush and onto the paper. And I'm going to ink up a little more. Tap off, make sure I get all of that little excess. I'm going to concentrate a little bit more on the top, pushing a little bit harder so that the ink goes into the cardstock. And come down. Someone said, It's a longer process, but so worth the wait. So definitely it is. It's worth it. All right, and that is about where I want it to be. I'm just gonna run a little bit over here to soften that a little bit. And that's it. So you can see I went from that larger version and just made a little smaller piece. So I'm gonna turn it to the side and it's gonna be behind. So I'm gonna let that dry. There's a lot of ink on there, so we're gonna let that dry. Get that out of the way. Okay, so let's do some die cutting. I have my mini, my cut and emboss mini here. I love this little thing. He's so cute, so fun. I'm gonna go ahead and do some die cutting. I'm going to first do my vellum piece, and it's just straight vellum. Didn't do anything altered to it differently. So let's run that through. I loved the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love this little scalloped edge with a little stitching. It's so cute and perfect for this exact layout. So I've got that piece ready to go. Next, I'm going to take my scrap piece of white. That was this piece, and it's a piece of thick white, and I'm going to run this image through, this die image. And I love that all of these fit into the mini. So it's nice. Oh wow, we have like 50 people watching. That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna make quite a mess. Let me grab my trash can here. And pull that out. I love this piece in the white. It's so pretty, just really nice. And scrape some of this off. All those little pieces. And then last, I'm gonna take the long 1 inch by 6 inch, and I'm gonna cut the scallop piece. And I'm just gonna place it in the center because I'm gonna trim it down anyways. So just gonna place it in the center. And cut that. Okay. And that's it. That's all the die cutting you need to do. So I've got my die piece here. Let's go ahead and start putting things together. I actually want to get this out of the way so you guys can see, and that big piece is not in the way. Everybody can see? Okay, let me just check comments. Anybody? I love ombre everything. I do too. I do too, Janice. I love ombre everything. All right, so I've got my cardstock. I have my greeting. Let's start putting this together. Oh, I do need to do one thing. I want to add a bit of Wink of Stella on this so that it has time to dry. So I'm just gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab my Wink of Stella, shake it up, and then I'm just gonna let it kind of pillow out. Really pillow, geez, okay. And then I'm just gonna splatter this across the vellum, like so. Just to add a little bit of something, a little bit of glitter to this. I really love Wink of Stella. Okay, so I'll need to let that dry because you don't want it to smear. And if you want to, you could also hit it with the heat tool. You could do that too, which I probably will because it probably won't be dry by the time I'm ready to assemble. Let's see. Hi, Carolyn. Nice to see you here. Thank you. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to adhere first this with some seal. Whoop. And I'm going to put this, yeah, this way. I just like that little bit of white around the edge there. All right, and then next I'm going to add let's trim this down. So I went from scallop to scallop, so I'm going to trim this here, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did about like where it was just flanking around the edge of that, so 9, so that's 4 and 5, and then I'm just going to cut like so. And then I think I want to cut just a little bit of this off. It's about 3/8 of an inch from the stitched edge. So, like so. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down the thanks. I just use my snips to do this. You could use a paper trimmer if you wanted to, or if you have a guillotine. But paper snips go straight. All right, and then let's start to assemble. I want to grab my ribbon. Krista said this is typical Cindy. You can see this, it's called the zigzag. I love the zigzag, so I'm just going to do a little zigzag of a ribbon. And I always give myself a little extra room so that I can trim it later afterwards. Use up your ribbon. I don't know. Give me a thumbs up if you have tons of ribbon and you never used the ribbon before. So, I mean, I have lots of ribbon, so use it up. Make it long, cut it long, and trim it. Then you won't get a mistake and have to trim it again or cut it again. So, let's see. What else? Lovely effect. Never thought of doing something like that. Hey, Paula. Janelle says, this looks like something Bella and I can do. Yay, Janelle! We need to do a stamp night. You need to come over and stamp with me. Let's see. Tanya says, looks so pretty. Love the tips you are sharing. Beautiful card. Making my own ESP. Lovely color combination. We'll have to add this to my wish list. Yay, Christine. Yes, it's such a beautiful, beautiful set. I love it. All right, so I've got this prepared, and I'm going to take and add it here. And I know I want to make it a little bit narrower. And then what I like to do is kind of just layer everything and make sure I've got it all proportion-wise before I put anything down. So that's about where I want it to be. And then my trick is Scotch tape. This is what holds everything down. So I just turn it over. Got a little bit too long. I'm just gonna stick it down, rub it in there, and it holds my ribbon down. So I've got it nice and secure. Okay, and my ribbon, and then I'm going to add this piece using mini dimensionals. Because I don't want to do a large dimensional on the back, I like where the ridge is so that my level is the same. So I'm just going to do on the outer edge of the ribbon. Oops. And make sure you have a line so you can't see your dimensional after you get it down. I'm still trying to see if this is drying. I might have to shoot that with the heat tool just to get it to dry. And then I'm going to add this piece here. I want to cover up that stitching, but I want it to show through the ribbon because it's just a nice little detail. Okay, and then last I will trim off my tails like so. Okay, no big deal. All right, so that's ready to go. Let me see if this is dry. I'm going to shoot it with my heat tool only because I see like a couple of them is a little bit thicker and I don't want it to smear. So hang on tight. It's going to get loud in here. Julie's saying wonderful tips. Patty's saying hi to Terry. Oh, I love that you guys are all know each other. That's awesome. Just want to make sure that those are dry. Okay, looks good. So now what I'm going to do, because I know that my sentiment and everything is going to go here, that's the trick to using vellum. You've got to be able to add something on top so then that way you can hide that adhesive, because we don't have an adhesive that kind of like it makes is invisible with the vellum. And so I'm just going to add a little bit where I think I'm going to put the sentiment behind the vellum. And then I'm going to add this piece like so. I'm still worried that this is a little bit wet. So then that way you can see the vellum here, but when I put the greeting on top, it hides it and you don't have to see it. Another trick, if you want, is when you've got like an embellishment or you have something else on top, you can put glue, liquid glue, behind the image and have it stick to it. And that's what I'm going to do next. So here I've got this image, the die cutting. Let's go ahead and just remove the little pieces. And I'm just going to take my adhesive and I'm going to add it right on top of the vellum because I know that's going to be hiding. And I'm going to place this on top so that it holds it. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some liquid glue. Like I said, I'm going to add just a little dab underneath. Oops, my stick in there. And I like to, the way that I like to use my liquid glue is I like to add the glue and then move it around with the tip to make it thinner. So then that way it's not globby and it also doesn't smear onto the spaces that are not needed to be glue. I hold it for just a few seconds to make sure that it's secure. And then I'm going to pull back the vellum and add a little bit of glue then in that one spot where I know it's going to hide. Again, I add a little bit of glue and move it around with my tip. And then I'm going to push it down and hold it. I could do that one too if I wanted to, but I really like just that top, this top being secure. And that is a super little trick there. That's my little trick for vellum. Okay, and the last thing I need to do is to add my sentiment. And so I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to add glue on this piece. And yes, I do clean off my tip after I use it. So then that way it's ready to go and it's not all globby. So I do that. And then I'm going to add this green just like this. I think I want to do it a little bit more off to the side. Right like that. Okay. And then let's go ahead and add it with some dimensionals. The best thing ever are dimensionals. I always add one in the center so I don't get a saggy, what I call a sag. Remove these. I noticed I didn't do that one leaf and that's kind of bugging me, but I'm just going to let it be. And then I'm going to add this. I even love it on the A2 card. It's so pretty. Again, moving it over more to the right side rather than be centered. I can see that there's a little bit of smear with my Wink of Stella. But essentially, that is the card. Now, let's do some other minor finishing details. That's going to be using the In Color Jewels. And I'm going to use the Pale Papaya. They almost look like a yellowy tint, and I love the way they looked with this. So I'm just going to take a large one, a small one, working in a triangular pattern. So two close together and then come across and leave one at the bottom. So there's a triangle pattern for the embellishments. I always use 3, 5, 7. I always do odd number embellishments. I never do less than that. And then last, I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Blends, and we're gonna add some dots. So I'm just going to add a little cluster of some dots in some places just to kind of fill in some of that white space that was left over. And you could just have really a lot of fun with it, with the blends. I'll add some over here, little on the top, and so that way they're spaced out evenly. Just some little dots. I want to do one right here, so I'm just going to lift this a little bit just to have that one behind it, just a little bit coming out. And there you go. Perfect little additional touch. Oh, the dots are a great idea. Thanks. Another fun trick to try, dots. Susan says sometimes I do 4 just to be a rebel. I love it. Oh, thank you, Julie. And the vellum makes the so soft and pretty. Yeah, that's why I was like, see, I think that I should have stamped off on that. A little bit more. Oh, good. Thank you. Oh, don't worry about it, Michelle. You'll always come back and check the replay out later and craft along at that time. I love the addition of the dots. Loving the dots. Yay! Just really fun. Like a great little filler in, and it doesn't take very much. And it's very artistic and adds a little bit of your own art to it. All right, so you can see my sneak peek and my tutorial and the way that it all flows. This would be great for a class, if you're a demonstrator, if you're a customer. It would be great for you to get the stamp set and all these pieces, and that way you can create multiple of these. So yeah, just a really fun combination of colors and this beautiful, beautiful stamp set that I highly recommend you get if you did not get it. And I hope that after seeing my tutorial and Susan's tutorial and Krista's coming up next, that you'll want this stamp set and the bundle and the tool. So stunning. All right. Let's see. So versatile. Thanks for the technical tips. Of course. You know me, Wendy. I like to give lots of tips. I'm seeing gonna case for sure. So many tips. Yay. I love it. Let me turn back around and read all of these beautiful comments. Let's say goodbye to you guys too. Okay, did we get you there? Okay, let's see. I love this. I love reading all these. Oh, I'm going to miss so many, but I'll come back and look at them afterwards. Beautiful. Love the card. Looks great. Didn't know you stamped off. Thanks. I know. That's okay. It's a little bit bolder. I wanted it a little bit lighter. I wanted a softer look, but I still think it came off well. So thank you. Can't wait to make both of these. Yay. Grace says, thank you. Loved watching your tutorial, the stamp set, and the dies. Yay. So pretty. Thanks for showing us your skills. Thanks. I have to go back and watch the others. I missed them live. Oh yeah, which is so great because you can go back and watch them at any time, even after we're done for this month. If you were like, what did that thing that Susan did, you can go back and watch it later. So that's the one thing that's so great about the Crafty Carrot, is that once you're a member of our program for that month, you'll always be able to come back and watch any of the videos at any time. And even ask questions if you wanted to too. So we're always monitoring those old groups. And so that's one of the best things about Crafty Carrot, is you can watch those tutorials 2 years from now, 5 years from now, whenever you like, wait, what did they do? Or if you just need inspiration too. So fantastic tutorial, lots of great suggestions. Yay! That's one of the things I like to do. I love to share. And I'm so glad that the Crafty Carrot is available to all of you this month, and that you've joined us and see how fun it is and how exciting we have with all of these new products from Stampin' Up, as well as all the tips that we share and all of the things that we do for our community here. So I'm super excited about September, you guys. September is gonna rock. It's gonna be so much fun. And you can join in our subscription right now. You can either do a 1 month or a 3 month subscription. And the 3 months will be September, October, November. But September is so much fun. It's like 4 stamp sets. Well, yeah, 4 stamp sets from each one of us. And we case each other. We just have so much fun. And so we hope that you guys will join us for September. All right. I thank you so much. Thanks for sharing with us tonight. Awesome tips. Thank you, Stacy. Oh, good. So, all right, what's coming up next? We have Krista. Oh my gosh, I'm usually second, so I'm always saying that Jen's next, but it's Krista's next, and then we're done for the month. So you'll be able to continue stamping and join us and share on our album. And then at the end of the month, I'll do a live and we'll do a drawing for some card drawing winners. And so we'll select 4 of them and you'll get a card for one of our Crafty Carrot girls. So, well, thanks for joining me. I see 37 of you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are here. And if you are watching the replay, I can't wait to see what you make. Bye, everybody.